Today, I'm going to tell you an amusing, I don't know if it's a story, I think it's more like an anecdote of the only time that I can consciously remember speaking with a reptilian. Keeping in mind that I was probably only perceiving him as a reptilian. This happened about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I was staying in Tampa with a friend, very briefly, and I was working on a webcomic at the time that I've since had to set aside. Um, Too many projects, too much financial stress. I haven't quit it. I'm just going to come back to it when I finish one of my other projects. But anyway, I was working on it, and there was a character that was coming up I had to develop that day. And it was a Naga type, not quite a reptilian. So, I developed these characters. They were space pirates, and started drawing the pages, and they're a lot of fun. People actually like them, and I look forward to working with them again. But I finished a page. This was for a webcomic, so I posted it, and then that night I am visited in my bedroom by this reptilian entity. Now, this is the setup of the visitation. I am sitting up in my bed, and the reptilian entity was sitting in a chair at the foot of the bed, legs crossed, very casual. It was a male, was wearing an orange flight suit. And I had this sense that his ship was actually parked above the house. You know, that psychic sense you get of things because you're, hyper aware of your surroundings, like my alters tend to be. So I knew that it was parked above the house, and he had come down through the ceiling to talk to me. And yeah, right, crazy, huh? And I knew that the ship was a single man, or at least no more than two people craft, kind of like a little jet fighter. And I knew that it had come from a base nearby. And the reason why he had come is he had been sent by his superiors to discuss my portrayal of the Nagas and other reptilian beings. They were concerned at how I was portraying them. I kid you not. They were concerned at how I was portraying them, keeping in mind that the webcomic was a sci-fi comedy. So I had really, really amped up making fun of these pirate Nagas. And they were telling me they didn't want me portraying them in a funny light. They had a very specific way they wanted me to portray them. And he had been sent to tell me how to create my characters. And most of the conversation was him sitting politely listening as I explained to him how I was going to portray my characters, that although I appreciated his input, when the time came, it was going to happen how it needed to happen for the story. And I was sorry, but I was going to do things as I wanted to do them. When I look at the setup of the visitation, it rather matches some things that Dr. Turner brought up about how hologram and holographic conversations will be projected through the ceiling to contactees and abductees in their discussion. I have no idea why it was so important how I portray the reptilians in a comic that didn't even hardly have a following, but there you have it. Yeah, media control at its finest, people. Yeah.